Good evening, everybody, and I want to welcome everybody to a normal session of council, Monday, October 16th. I'd like to go ahead and call it to order and have the invocation and the pledge led by Mr. Weaver.
Thank you. As we gather, we are grateful for today. We are grateful for colleagues and community. Let us remember the trust and purpose of service, the meaning and value of relationships, and the importance of discourse and public input. Above all, let us be thankful, in accordance with our own faiths and practices, for the opportunity to give back and lift our neighbors and neighborhoods.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, can you call a roll, please?
Angelou.
Here.
Bowers.
Here.
McGregor.
Here.
Padova.
Here.
Renner.
Here.
Schnetzer.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Awesome, thank you. Item B, additions or corrections to our agenda. Do we have anything? Okay, moving on. Item C, hearing of visitors. Mr. Clerk, do we have any speaker slips?
Did not get any. Nope.
Okay. Item D, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to publish the consent agenda or to vote on the consent agenda as published?
So moved.
Have a first by Mr. Schnetzer. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Ms. Bowers. Any discussion? Okay. Jeremy, please call a roll.
Schnetzer.
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
Padova.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Angelou.
Yes.
Very good. Item E, correspondence and actions. Mr. Clerk, do you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing this evening.
Thank you. How about my colleagues on council? Anything? We're checking. Item F, representatives, Community Improvement Corporation. Mr. Weaver and I sit on that. Mr. Weaver, would you like to, is there anything to report?
Nothing too major, Mr. President, just that our regular meeting, we did push back 1 week, so we will be meeting on Tuesday, October 24th at 8 a.m. in the committee room. And as always, folks can find minutes of previous meetings at GahannaCIC.com.
Thank you, sir. Just
you.
making sure I have it on my calendar. All right, item 2, Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, Ms. Angelou.
This is going so fast, I can't even get myself together. Whoa. I can make this really long, or I can make it very short. So I'm thinking I'm going with the very short. So if, I'm just going to lead a few things. We had a meeting last Thursday. It was really amazing, all the things that are happening at Morpsey, and we should be so blessed to have this wonderful opportunity to be part of this. Number one, I'd like to say there's a little bit about the rail. We're thinking that November might be the time when CCCD, that's Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, and Dayton, may have possible the idea of getting rail for that. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that that will come through. We also had information about return on investment, and the investment was for every dollar of our things that we give, we get $21 back. So that's pretty good. There is a new economic development director for the Morpsey, and her name is, I hope I have this correct, Padmini Roy Dixon, and she's the going to be the economic development director of Regional Innovation Officer. She is brilliant, and her last place was at OSU, but she's been other places, many other places before that, and she's going to be a wonderful person for Morpsey. The pro-housing grant, I think, is going to be $10 million, and that's all I'd like to say about that, because I don't know a lot more about it. The Rapid 5 is going to have a land trust, which is something that's very interesting as well. Of course, we have this next week, I think it's next week, we're going to the Summit on Sustainability, 2 weeks from now, okay. It's always wonderful, it's always great, and if you can come for a little bit or a whole lot, you should come because it's got an amazing thing. And I found that picture, Jeremy, and I'm going to show it to you. I think I sent it to you. From the one time when we had all the people from Gahanna that were part of that. We had this picture taken, so it was really wonderful. Now, getting back to resolutions, we had a resolution that we passed establishing population estimates as, and that's what I brought for you tonight, so I'm going to leave it in with somebody, because it's very long and it's very small. Things. This is all of the people that are part of MORPC, giving money towards MORPC, so MORPC can get more money and get them all sorts of things. And Gahanna's is in here. And I think I'll leave it with you in case for any of you would like to actually take a look at this and see what it is. It's really actually something quite amazing that we have so many people here that are so interested. So I'm going to give this to Jeremy. He can put it on there and maybe make some we could probably print some for people if they would like to see them, but it's really, really hard to see. So that is a thing that's really wonderful that we have all those things. Another resolution we had was authorizing the executive director to enter into an administrative contract for up to $500,000 with the state of Ohio or any state-affiliated organization to support the development of a 15-county comprehensive study to inform current and future water supply and demand, as well as provide recommendations for water infrastructure management and innovative reuse. This is really, really something exciting and important. And the fact that I'm putting a little bit on this is because it's going to be 10 to 12 months of this study. And that's the $500,000 is just for the beginning. So it's really looks as though it's going to be a pretty terrific thing to know what we're going to be doing with this, and to know that it's all of it, sewers, and it's all, and the corpo ones, the ones outside of our regular little places, it's just going to be, I think, a wonderful opportunity for that. And I don't want to forget on the Summit on Sustainability, Mayor Jadwin is very important in this thing. So that this is her thing, and I hope we can all be there to see all the wonderful things that MORPC does, and that Mayor Jadwin does, and all the people that are there working at that. So I'm trying to think. Maybe this should be the end. If anybody wants to see any of my things or ask any questions, I'll try to get the answers to them. But it's really a good place to be, and I'm so happy that I have November and December after this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Conventions and Visitors Bureau, Ms. Padova.
Thank you. Visit Gahanna won 3 Ruby Awards at the Ohio Travel Association's Conference on Tourism earlier this month. The Ruby Awards stand for Recognizing Uncommon Brilliance yearly, and they recognize excellence in advertising, marketing, and public relations efforts. The CVB was recognized among a field of 236 statewide submissions in the categories of marketing campaign, social media campaign, and event campaign, and was given a citation of excellence in the annual report category. The CVB has prepared nearly 100 welcome bags so far for this month for out-of-town guests coming to Gahanna for weddings and family reunions. And don't forget to mark your calendars for Gahanna's Holiday Lights celebration on Sunday, November 19th from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And also register for the Santa race on Saturday, December 2nd. And that's all for me.
Thank you. School Board, Ms. Bowers.
Yes, thank you. I have only 2 items tonight. One, that there is a GJPS Coffee and Conversation on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday morning, October 18th at 8 a.m. until 9:30 at Upper Cup at Creekside. So any questions that you may have for either Dr. Deagle or members of the GJPS Board of Education can be asked in a more informal setting on Wednesday morning. So you can drop in at any point between 8 and 9:30. And then the other thing is that our undefeated Gahanna Lincoln Lions boys football team are playing Pickerington North on Friday night, a final regular season home game at our brand new stadium. I think it may be difficult to get tickets at this point, though, is the rumblings that I'm hearing. So enjoy senior night, and congratulations, and go Lions. Thank you.
Thank you. Item G, official reports. Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Had a busy week last week. We had a neighborhood meeting with residents of largely of the Gahanna Heights neighborhood, probably about 25 folks that were there to answer questions and concerns that they had around the Creekside redevelopment strategy. We are still a little bit ways off on that. However, we are getting closer every day on that project, and some good announcements with that. But it was a great opportunity to hear their concerns, certainly as we move forward, working with our CIC in how that evolves. So great conversation and very valuable resident feedback. Last week, I also had the opportunity to participate. The Big Table Conversation is something that's held every year by the Columbus Foundation. I was invited to head down to COSI. COSI, in partnership with One Columbus, held a specific conversation on the future of STEM workforce in our region, particularly given the growth that we are seeing. So in addition to myself, there were mayors from Reynoldsburg. It was good to catch up with Joe Begany. Mayor Spalding from New Albany was there. Mayor Fox from Dublin was there. Also had school representatives from the city of Dublin and Columbus City Schools, from the representatives from the Franklinton area, as well as Jobs Ohio. So it was great conversation. I think a lot of insightful discussion. And a lot of really great ideas that we can take back to our own communities as to how we can work together to really help inform our students, even at the elementary school levels, about the opportunities in STEM careers. So there was a suggestion from Mayor Fox in Dublin of a marketing campaign, and we started talking about what that would look like. So I think there'll be more to come on that. But again, fantastic conversation. Related to STEM opportunities, last Friday we celebrated the grand opening, or I should say not grand opening, groundbreaking ceremony of Orthopedic One right here at Crescent and Central Park. I, along with members of our economic development team, were invited to attend that event, along with the CEO, Mark Delosio, their COO, CFO were there as well, Dr. Feibel, who I believe was in our council chambers. Very exciting opportunity to see that building start to come to fruition. Our team has been working overtime with them to get that building up and going. They have a very tight time frame. They expect to be in that building in the fall of next year. But as we all know, that is a significant project for the city, more than 200 physician and associate jobs coming to our city. So look forward to watching that building as it starts to take growth. This coming week, we have Wednesday. Council will be seeing, I think, almost all of you here in council chambers again for a joint workshop with our Planning Commission. That, I believe, starts at 6:30 p.m. It will be live streamed, so we are encouraging our residents to attend that or to watch live stream as well. They could also, if they're not available on Wednesday night, can go back and watch that again. But looking forward to hearing what your insights and thoughts are as we continue to work on that zoning code rewrite that has been in progress for nearly 2 years at this point, but we're nearing the finish line. So hopefully we'll be able to get something in front of you as a final draft before the end of the year. That is the goal. And then a date to note on the calendar, Wednesday, November 1st, 11/1, here at City Hall from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll be holding another open house, trying to do one in the evening, one during the day for folks. That'll be another opportunity for residents to come and offer input on the zoning code. We will also be inviting the members of our business community, folks who do business with the city, developers, realtors, again, our chamber members, to get their input as well, because we hear a lot of times about what it's like to do business in the city. So is this an opportunity for us to make any changes in that too? Then the consultant, upon hearing your input, their input, will come back and we'll present a draft to you. And then there will be more opportunity for public discussion as we have public hearings. So good conversations coming. Again, looking forward to hearing what you all have to say about it. Also Wednesday night, the Mayor's Art Advisory Panel will be meeting at 6 p.m. at the Senior Center. So we'll have two meetings going on at the same time. Mr. Malarski will be over there as part of that meeting. I will be here with the Zoning Code Workshop, other than to greet those folks and welcome them and get them started. Our outside counsel, as you heard last week at council, will be leading that discussion and setting the parameters and then letting them get to work on developing I guess, a recommended arts policy that we can work from. This Friday morning, we are partnering with Columbus Business First again and hosting their monthly networking breakfast. We will be at the Gahanna branch of the Columbus Metropolitan Library. That event runs from 7 to 9 a.m. It is free to attend, but registration is required. I believe they already have over 250 folks registered for that. It was the largest event they had last year, and I believe it's the largest one so far this year. But we're looking forward to showcasing our beautiful Gahanna branch of the library. And just another couple of things, Great Gahanna Goblin Fest is next Friday, 2 Fridays, the 27th, at Academy Park, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Information on that, go to gahanna.gov. Trick or treat is indeed on October 31st, one of the most frequently asked questions in Gahanna. It is on Tuesday evening, the 31st. Congratulations to Columbus Academy. The varsity girls golf team won their second straight Division II state championship. And luckily, I bought my tickets at 8 o'clock this morning when they went on sale for Friday night's football game. So we're looking forward to rooting on the Lions as they're going to bring home, I know, another undefeated season. And maybe I need to call Pickerington and make a bet. We'll see how that goes. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you. It's all quiet on the legal front. Nothing to add.
Very good, thank you. Council comment, item H. Ms. Angelou.
Well, Mayor Jadwin got two of mine. I forgot to say that Morpsey actually says when pumpkins are out, and it is the 31st. So she got that one for me, and she had another one for me, but I'll see if I can find which one that one was too. The Granville Street, I saw that whole thing. First thing I did was I'm going to breakfast at our wonderful library. So you said there's 250 people so far? I hope some of the rest of you can come because those are really wonderful, those things that they do there. It was also, I had this wonderful thing that happened. I had this Columbus Realtors invitation to go to the Government Affairs reception. This was last October, on October 11th, and actually Mayor Jadwin was there. It was at the Athletic Club of Columbus in the Crystal Room, and it was from 5 to 6:30. And we talked with so many people. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to see people from Gahanna. A lot of people from Gahanna were there talking about everything that's good about what's going on in life. So that was a wonderful thing as well. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. McGregor.
No comment tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bowers.
Yeah, just very briefly tonight, I have circulated my September constituent report and would just request that the clerk incorporate that into our minutes. September was another fun and busy month, and I wanted to especially thank city staff for their responsiveness and assistance on a number of the issues that are identified in that report, including getting a speed card out to some residents in the Woodside Green South area, and meeting with a resident on Taylor Road to discuss drainage issues. So I've already expressed my gratitude to Director Schultz, but thank you to the staff and members of the administration for taking care of those issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Padova.
Thank you. Thank you to my colleagues tonight for passing the resolution recognizing October as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. 1 in 4 pregnancies do end in loss, and this resolution is particularly special to me as 2 of my 3 pregnancies have ended in loss. Prior to having Geneva, I had an ectopic pregnancy. We had to end the pregnancy quickly, and it was devastating. I knew that some pregnancies ended in loss, but I didn't know how common it was, and I certainly didn't think it would happen to me. When I got pregnant with Geneva, I was terrified for the first couple of months. People knew I was pregnant, and they would get excited, and I would try to join their excitement, but on the inside, I was terrified. About a month ago, I found out I was pregnant again. This time, it was different. I wasn't scared. I felt strong and was staying positive, but within a couple weeks, things took a turn. On Wednesday, I was reading about being 6 weeks pregnant, and by Friday afternoon, I was being pushed out of the hospital after having my right fallopian tube removed. After having gone through this loss twice, both before and after a successful pregnancy, I've learned a lot. I encourage others to tell their stories to the extent that is comfortable for them. The stigma associated with talking about our loss is isolating. Talking about your loss is not attention-seeking. It's part of the grieving process. Too many women suffer in silence, and too many men don't even know that this is happening. For people who haven't been through this, don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to. It is so common in our society to ask people when they're going to have kids or when they're going to have more kids. After my first loss, someone asked me when we're going to have kids, and I melted into tears. You never know what people are going through, and these questions can be extremely painful. Unless you're willing to sit in the grief with the person that you're asking, I recommend removing these deeply personal questions from everyday chit-chat. And the loudest bee in my bonnet right now is the stigma associated with ending a pregnancy for any reason. After my first loss, my doctor encouraged me to seek a support group. It was 2020, so everything was virtual. What I found online was that so many women were absolutely crushed. On top of the grief they were experiencing, they also thought that ending their pregnancy was killing their baby. The language used around abortion has women who would do anything to hold their babies, thinking that they've done something wrong. When my doctor showed me the pictures of the fallopian tube she removed, she told me my body was a ticking time bomb. She was shocked that I wasn't experiencing more pain. I thanked her for saving my life. We were supposed to go to a cabin that weekend in the middle of nowhere. Had I listened to the politicians, preachers, and pundits who say that ending a pregnancy is murder, I may have went with our plans and ended up being rushed to the nearest emergency room. Luckily, I listened to my doctor and my body, and I'm able to be here tonight. The last thing I want to say on this is that a person who didn't really know me opened up about her loss publicly and created space for me. Talking to someone who I didn't know well, but was experiencing the same feelings, to me was very helpful. We bonded over our grief, and today I'm proud to call her a friend. For anyone who has gone through this or is currently going through this loss, I'm holding space for you. Whether we're friends, acquaintances, or complete strangers, I see you and I'm here for you. Thank you.
Ms. Padova, thank you so much for your courage and sharing your story and emphasizing the importance of a state issue that's before our electorate.
Thank you.
Mike.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to pivot a little bit. Sitting here on the weatherbug.com website, and it appears that despite a rainy forecast for Friday, it is, at least at this moment in time, anticipated to clear by kickoff. I, along with, I think, perhaps a majority of this dais will be there cheering on the Golden Lions in what we hope is ultimately a victory and an undefeated season. It's really fun to be part of the buzz for now, a second year in a row, as that program begins to emerge and realize its potential. Just an anecdote as to how that's trickling down to the youth league. Our grade 3-4 junior league football season wrapped up on Sunday, and we had two teams for the grade 3-4 level this season where they had just one last year. Now, granted, it was a 30-player team last year, but we had 43 kids come out in the wake of last year's very successful season at the high school level. And we're just looking forward to going over to Lincoln High and cheering on the Lions, and maybe we can get to 50-plus kids for next season. So that's all from me.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Mr. Weaver.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I would like to first thank Make Gahanna Yours for hosting a litter cleanup this past weekend. There was a great turnout, picked up lots of trash throughout the community, so great event, and look forward to participating again in the future. Also was able to attend the neighborhood meeting with the Gahanna Heights folks. I know some of my other colleagues on the dais were here. It was great to hear directly from residents, and sort of unique hat that I have as being a president appointee to the CIC as well. So looking forward to continuing that dialogue moving forward with residents. And lastly, I would like to just thank my colleague and more importantly, my friend, Ms. Padova, for her work on the resolution and for sharing her story, her powerful and very impactful story, and it's made ever more meaningful given the difficulty of pregnancy loss on my own family. So thank you very much for that, and I'm proud to call you my friend and colleague. And that's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. I only have one comment regarding Friday. I will be joining my wife. Jesus. We'll be walking our son across the field. He's a senior. So it's another one of those senior nights, and it just, it's our last son to go through the system, and sometimes I look in the mirror and it's like, okay, I'm getting a little older. So seeking, I don't have anything else. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you.